Everybody, how's it going? A little bit different start to the stream today. I think there was a bit of an issue technically, and I got rid of my starting soon video. So we're just jumping right into it. How's everybody doing tonight? A little bit of a shaky start there, but it looks like we are live and cranking now. Again, we are in the waiting room for Compendium, and I'm flying out to London tomorrow. So we're going to be doing a little chit chatting and going through some cards and things like that. Doing the Market Minute live again. Since the buy list of the podcast kind of came back with a special guest host this weekend, I didn't do a Market Minute, but we'll do it now. We'll do it live. Also, we got a ton of spoilers we can talk about. I can talk about some of my I'm gonna call it like favorite spoilers. I think the commons and rares are a little bit older news now. I mean, I will say if you watch the buy list episode I did with Shane, this might be a little bit of a repeat, but the commons and rares are super interesting. They're like spicy in a way where it like makes you think about how to build a deck. Like, do you build your deck around this singular card, right? Your Sage deck, where not sometimes I think a lot of the times the commons and rares are just like tools that facilitate draft, right? And this set's a little bit different where the commons and rares are like meant to like make you think and build interesting Silver Age decks. So that's been pretty exciting. Or that was pretty exciting when those came out. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? It is the new month, so we're going to do some membership gifts to start the stream. We also have a dice giveaway that I told everyone I was going to do this like in January, and just work showed up and I just didn't do a live stream for a couple weeks because I was traveling for work, and then we forgot about it the last time we streamed. so we're gonna do it this time. It's some Terry Tie dice, some big chunky guys, shipped to the US free of charge. So we're gonna roll that here in a little bit after I give away the next 5 memberships. Good luck. Hopefully you guys grab a membership. No real special perks to the membership other than you get a nice cool badge, and you're supporting me, so that's all I can ask for. I appreciate everybody that continues to be a member and help me out that way. But yeah, let's so as you guys can see, first card up tonight. Actually, you know what? Let's do the dice roll right off the gate. So here we go. So basically, if you don't know, !Discord gets you into my Discord. Come hang out. We're a chill bunch in there. But I'm able to do some giveaways, especially since Terry hooked me up with some dice, and I appreciate him for doing that. And all you gotta do is react to a post in my Discord. It enters you into it, and that's how this works. So good luck to everybody that reacted, and let's roll it. Hey Rocky, how's it going? All right, Dell. Congratulations, Dell. Congratulations. All right, let's jump back. So we get those dice out to you. I'll shoot you a DM, get your address. Yeah, Blasphemous. I saw it was slowing down on your name there, but so close. Okay, so wanted to start it off here with Tunic. I think we might have talked about this a little bit last stream as well, but You know, this is the rainbow foil version of the card. And man, we scroll down, it's currently sitting at just over $100. High low is 107 is the low, high is 149. So it's definitely, you know, lowest listing is, you know, they're trying to get that, you know, 106. A couple people jumping in here at 100, probably expecting that this card is going to go lower than that. I think, especially on the R and on the WTR version of this card, I think we see a dip. If you remember back to the last time this was reprinted, Bright Lights, the Bright Lights non-foil version dipped. I can't remember where the rainbow foil dipped to, but the non-foil on release of Bright Lights dipped to like 70, 75-ish, I believe so. And then it popped back up, right? I think Tunic at that time was more played in the game. So it's definitely played less now. They've, you know, at the dev Q&A in LA, they mentioned that they were starting a expedition, I guess. I don't think that's not their words. That's my words. They're starting to design around Tunic in the sense of like new classes were going to be using other chess pieces. And we've seen that, right? Gravy doesn't need Tunic. You know, Fang doesn't, you know, there's a lot of heroes that just don't run Tunic anymore. The Earth heroes had a pretty strong piece of armor that said, hey, don't run Tunic. Although Florian did run Tunic from time to time, I think, in certain builds, right? So we'll probably continue to see that. Tunic was a card that I think is always going to be around, but it's just less used, right? So what I'll say here is that we are seeing 107 is the low. I think we're officially in that pause period, right? If you're going to buy a Tunic, what's your draw to buy a Tunic right now? Like, there's no RTNs. The ProQuest season doesn't start for another couple weeks. You can wait for Compendium to drop, especially if you like the new border. You know, maybe you wait, and I think that's where we see it. And what that means for Tunic and a lot of the reprints, you can actually expand this to a lot of the reprints, especially the armor reprints that we're seeing, you know, Tunic and Crown of Dominion, things like that, right? Where it's a one-off, you don't need a playset of 3, so there isn't a larger stress on the population. You'll see these cards dip, right? And if you don't have a Tunic, maybe this is the time that you start looking at that. But overall, just wanted to start the show off with kind of a look at where we're at and how reprints are affecting this card. You know, if I scroll down here, we go out to 6 months. 173 this card was. I think Tunic is probably, you know, I think we talked about it last time. I think reprints are generally pretty good for the game. There's no denying that it needed to happen to attract more players. And I think Tunic was probably one of the biggest offenders when it came to detracting a new player from trying this game. $173 is a lot of cash, right, for one card. You know, I used to make the argument a lot that I paid good money for my Tunic, and I've used it a lot. I've used it in a lot of decks. But, you know, as an entrenched player, that argument works. But as we're getting further away, right, you need some fresh new blood. And that's what the reprints are going to do, in my opinion. The next one up here is, let's make sure this is on. Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit on my discussion point. Yeah, this one's on me. $59 for a lightly played cold foil gold baited hook. Let's put it on near mint because that's kind of where we want to see. You know, I think I wanted to talk about this card a little bit. Even at $71, the argument still stands a little bit. We scroll down. Let's jump out 6 months. Oh, let's jump out a year. Um, you know, again, this graph looks weird because it's the cold foil. Low sale price is $60. High sale price $179. Obviously, we're at, you know, launch, right? That was probably even a pre-order. But you know, one thing that we have to keep in mind, or I try to keep in mind, and I would, you know, suggest you guys do as well, is that gold baited hook, or the cold foils from High Seas, are from the gold pack. They were not in the set. You know, we're showing 86 here. That's actually way off. There's only 11 listings for this card. And again, this is why I'm bringing this up. The gold pack, you know, that's where the cold foils lived in High Seas. And I think as we get further away from High Seas, it's not that people will forget about this point, but I think maybe there will be some like, oh yeah, I don't didn't remember that. But I think what we're seeing here, and this is a good point of this, is that these cards were kind of hard to pull, because there's a lot of hits in those gold packs, right? You could get gold pirate cards, and you could get a bunch of them. You could get you could get cold foil commons, and so on, right? So, you know, I'm looking at the spoilers. I see Scoundrel for Pirates, and that's just a pirate card. I see that card released today, and I'm like, holy smokes. Yeah, that juices up Gravy, but we're not talking about Gravy. I think watch out for like Puffin and Marlin. You know, that card, does that make them S tier? I'm not really sure, but I do think that it shows that those decks could be getting better, and Gold Baited Hook is very strong for those decks as well, right? They both are gold hungry. There's only 86 of these on TCG Player, right? Oh no, wait, hold on. We know that's wrong. It's not 86. Yeah, PSA, public services announcement. Sometimes this number is incorrect. Let's count through them real quick. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. Currently 14 of these cards on TCG Player. That's pretty rare, or that's pretty low, and they're actually quite bunched up, right? So if they sell, if someone, you know, a ProQuest comes out and Puffin wins a sizable number of cards, wins, all of a sudden that jumps, right? Because people will go, oh, buy. There's no, like, it doesn't start to become a question until, you know, you get up here in these top, you know, 130 is where it ends. So keep an eye on this one. And overall, the cold foils from High Seas, you know, we got to keep an eye on those as well, because they're a little bit harder to pull, right? Tectonic, like tectonic plating from WTR, you want to talk about? Oh man, that one's oh, that is, I actually just saw that and I was like, wow. It yeah, we can take a look at it. The next one up here is Warmongers, the cold foil. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, some Guardians use Tectonic as well, right? And that one's like an old time staple, but you know, I think Tunic is just overall less. Yeah, it's just less used these days. Not to say that it can't come back, right? Because it is a strong card. Okay, so Warmonger's Diplomacy, Super Slam, the cold foil version. Again, kind of looking at the cold foil version, you know, narrowing it down. The rainbow foil and non-foil versions of these, like, I don't know. There's like a billion of them, so it's like whatever, right? Let's see. Yeah, $30. So here's why we're talking about this one, right? The lightly played rainbow foil versions at $30. The cold foil versions at $42. So if we scroll down here, let's take a look at the whole picture. Ooh, she came down fast, right? High sale price of 104, low sale price $30.69 for the cold foil Warmongers. I know Super Slam was not the cream of the crop and people are clamoring for it, but man, $30 for a cold foil legendary. I mean, it is a legendary. You need 3 of them. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think at $42, you're not looking too bad. I think I would be shocked if this, I know we've seen $30, but I would be shocked if we don't start to see this chart kind of start going the other direction. Again, meta dependent, so it's a little iffy, but at some point, even if card's not played, the rarity will catch up with it, right? So we got 24 listings. This is saying 91. I don't think there's 91 here. No, there's definitely not 91. And this one goes up quite a bit faster, right? That's another thing we always got to look at. We're at 42 now. I guess to get your play set, you'd be looking at $50 from Star Cities here. But we go probably the next 10, 15 cards gets you into the $60 range. And it goes up from there, right? So keep an eye on this one. I think if you like cold foils, if you like bling in your deck, again, this might be the time to sell your rainbow foils or sell your non-foils and upgrade to these cold foils if that's the thing you want to do, right? Max and Mechanoids are tanking. Yeah. Well, so the Mechanoid is still that expensive. Static, this is the cold foil. So rainbow foil, let's put it on near mint. Rainbow foil is at $30. Which, again, for a card that's not played, it has some pretty good staying power to Static's point on this one. $23 is the low on this one. $44 is the high. Says there's 84 of these. There might be 84 with 47 listings here. So overall, yeah, cold foil, keep an eye on that one, right? Gone in a Flash. Like I said the last time we did this live, man. Guys, I just can't not talk about Rosetta cards. Rosetta cards are kind of crazy. We got shout out JCH sitting here at 23.46 for this card. Celio's big in the meta. Let's scroll down here. Pop this guy out. This is the story right here. This is the graph. This is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Aurora just coming in flying, right? $42. Acilio, not even a factor in this part of the graph. And then Aurora LLs, and oof, she falls off a cliff. You get down to $12. Guys, what was I doing not buying Gone in a Flash is at $12? Oh man, I wish I could tell you I have a stack of them over here waiting for it to get back to $40 or get them back to $30. But yeah, I just watched this one go and pass me by. Low sale price $10.97. Dang. High sale price $49.99. That might not even. That's probably not even. That's probably up here. Yeah. Yeah. There's 52. This says there's 52. There's 25 listings. I mean, this goes up fairly fast. You get 2 or 3 play sets, you get close to 30. Aurora's coming back. That's why I wanted to talk about this card. I think the last Market Minute we talked about Channel Lightning Valley. Same story with that. Channel Lightning Valley is kind of cheap. We don't have to talk about that again. But do yourself a favor. If you are curious about Lightning Heroes, um, you might want to start picking up on some of these cards. Um, Gone in a Flash, I think, is a 3 of course, no matter what. It's just kind of like core to the Lightning. Hey, actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I'm kind of like talking through it right now. Aurora might not deal in enough instances to make On in a Flash worthwhile, but it's still an 0 for 4 that you could maybe play again. I think it's slim chances that she can't find a way to play this card, right? I don't think this becomes just an Acilio card. So keep an eye on that. We also have ProQuest season coming up, and Acilio is like top dog. And like, believe it or not, like, if you want to play Acilio, you want to pick these up now, right? Because the prices will go back up. So keep an eye on Gone in a Flash. And yeah, those other cards. Okay, so what's going on with this tab? So we cut it down to Bright Lights and Majestics here. Not sure we need to click on every single one of these, but let's take a look at the 4-cost auras from Teklo. We're getting Teklo cards and a lot of them. We're getting them as ProQuest prizes, or well, the ProQuest prizes, but they're also in Penultimate. They seem like they're giving Teklo quite a bit of love here. Currently, the arm's sitting at $17.99. Let's take a look at where it's been at. Let's pop this out. Let's pop this out 6 months. Low sale price $4, high sale price $16.49. And obviously the hype of this set has just skyrocketed this one to 18 bucks. Interestingly enough, we have 7 listings, and we got some higher listings down here. You guys can't see it, but we got 11. What is this? So that's 13, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21. This is a lie. So there's only 21. That's seven play sets. Not a lot of these left. And these are like the card to have in Teklo. And it's kind of the same story for each one of them, right? If we back this up, Steel, the Soul Tower, $15, the Processor, $10. But, this might change if we click on it. But the thing is here, so here's the 4 right here. I don't know why memory doesn't have a picture, but 5 listings, 7 listings, 7 and 4. Pretty thin. Not to say that there's aren't people holding some back right now. I mean, I would be holding some back if I had a handful of these, just because, we know Teklo is getting cards, and if he, ProQuest season's probably the time to put them out there. But, something to keep an eye on. These Soul Processors, our Evo Steel cards are kind of jumping. So if you got some of those, you might want to try flipping them or something, But it seems like Teklo's getting some cards. Who knows if it makes him like good? I think he's pretty solid right now. It's just like that annoying tank deck. But yeah. All right. Boom. Here we made it, guys. We made it. This one's a fun one. This guy is a fun one. So no one's ever heard of this card until this weekend. It's called Visit Avalheim. It's from Guardian Mastery Pack. Currently sitting at $9.72. Oh, what happened? Talk about that. Talk about that card, huh? Talk about little spoiler action. Yeah, so look at that. 49 cents is the low. This card, no go again. Just like, ugh. But, we got a spoiler. And and things popping. Here's the problem with this card though. I don't think the spoiler's all that good. Oh man, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of cope and a little bit of like FOMO with this card. It happens every spoiler season where someone just goes and wipes out a card. Um, in the I mean, I don't think it's like awful. I think it's cool that they made something to like use this card up, right? But man, yeah, look, you can see a lot sold. 201 items sold. It was 85 cents and now it's $10. Crazy. Snap finished my play sets as soon as I saw the card. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's definitely, you know, if you're quick and you're watching spoilers, right, you can just snap jump on TCG Player and buy them. There's no problem there. Obviously, at $9, you're kind of you're getting a little bit of juice. You're getting juiced a little bit. But yeah, this was a fun story over the weekend, right? We kind of like saw the spoiler come out, and I had some friends and stuff. We were all chatting about it, and it was like, oh man, look at it go. But yeah, is it good? I think it's gonna take some work to make this little combo thingy good, but I don't know if it's like awful, but we'll see. All right, next card up here. Shelter of the Storm EA. This one's gonna be interesting, guys. Currently, they are 0 on TCG Player. So we dropped down. This one's a little bit. There ain't much to talk about on this one. Let's jump this out to a year. This is the EA, of course. We jumped this out to the year. You know, we started out at 255. High low 241 and a high of 420.69. Nice. That's funny. I didn't even know that was a thing, man. That was just a live reading it out. Like, oh yeah, someone actually listed these for 420.69, and one sold at that. All right, round of applause, folks. We did it. 420.69. Yeah, I just want to spend a little bit of time on this one. I don't know how this one's gonna go. Some people like the new art. The new art's pretty cool. It's a little bit more vibrant. I guess the question is, do you like the new border? I don't know, man. I kind of like the new art, but this would be another CNC style test. And by that, I mean the CNC that came out in the Hunted as well. I'm not a fan of the ARC CNC art at all. I think the perspective is weird. I think it's like kind of awkward. And it's like you're super close to the guy, and then you can see like if you have to like stare. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's not my favorite. So as soon as I saw the Hunted art, I was like, I'm in. Now, is Storm of the Shelter the same? Especially with this EA, right? Because, you know, if we scroll down here and let's look at this, you know, you're paying. So it looks like it might have been coming down a little bit already. But, dude, you pay $290 a piece for this card. Are you just like, you know, let's say you did it like 6 months ago. Are you just like looking to flip these and take the L on 3 cards to flip into the new ones? There's a little bit more stickiness to that, in my opinion, but we're gonna have to find out, right? I don't know if that's. We'll see what the market demands on this card. Kind of stated already, I wasn't a big fan of this reprint, especially in this EA version, because it did feel like, man, just a year later, we're getting another Storm in the same treatment. It's like, oh, that's tough. I guess with all that being said, I don't plan on moving away from my playset of these. I don't plan on it, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I thought it was interesting that there was 0 of these on TCG Players. So it looks like, I mean, the price can't go down if there's none to sell, I guess. But we'll see how this one goes. Those cards were super rare. So let's jump over to another cool EA. Again, as we just noticed, Call to the Grave can come back in an EA as well at any time, right? If there's a Shadow Necromancer in the 20th set, if there's a Necromancer Mastery Pack, you know, you got to keep that in mind. But we're sitting at 253.75 on these guys. This one's super cool. The art's very cool. Let's pop this out to a year. And yeah, this card's just been kind of slowly moving up. There's just not a lot of these cards to like move the price a lot, right? So we just see like 0 items sold. Boop, 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 boop. Because there's currently 5. And the 5th one is $350. So this is just a hard one to get, man. But 105 was the low. Congrats if you bought it around that price. I waited for a little bit after Rosetta and picked up mine at right around there, like 100 something. High sale price 290.98 on these. So we're sitting a little bit below, but again, this is a card that, you know, it just doesn't, people just don't jump on TCG Player on a whim, you know. Also, if you weren't here for the last live market minute, if you have a request for a card to look at, shout it out in the chat. I'll try to get to it once we go through my last couple cards here, actually. If not, we will talk about some spoilers and things like that, which will kind of lead into actually the next 2 cards are a little bit tied to the spoilers. So let's jump into it. This card here, Douse in Runeblood. This is from the Hunted. Again, the Hunted is in that block of 2 sets, Rosetta and the Hunted, where things were tight, print runs were tight. The Hunted, I believe there was like nothing official, but I think there was some discussion about you know, some printing errors that caused some issues with this set. If you open this set and you got a Marvel, you definitely saw some of those quality issues. Full disclosure, I was part of some this bar is partly me. It's definitely not all me, but this card's sitting at $1.94. As soon as I saw the new Runeblade card, doesn't make sense right now. But the fact that we're getting, it's like you need to play auras, and we got commons and rares that banish auras out of your graveyard, kind of tells me that there's maybe a Runeblade coming that, like, I call it like juggling auras. And yeah, it's like play out like 3 or 4 of them, and then they all break and do something maybe. And, you know, at the time of the Hunted, Douse in Runeblood didn't really make much sense either. So there's been some long time hints of this one, right? Because you have to play 3 non-attacks before playing this card, before it gets go again. And realistically, the only way, I mean, you have to do that. You can't just play a 1 for 4 with like making a Runechanter too. It's just too rough. And especially now that there's only been set left, this card's just not playable. So it's sitting at $1. But what I would say is that I think this card maybe is still future looking. And if you don't have your playset and you think you might want to be playing some Runeblades, pick this guy up, I think. Especially at $1.94. Doesn't hurt to grab them, you know. What's the Rainbow? Yeah, Rainbow Foils, $3.70. Also some sold here. I believe I picked up some of these as well. But this is currently the low sale price for the rainbow foil, $3.70. So yeah, I don't know. Just one that, like, I know we're a lot of talk about cards that are already up in price, but this one's kind of like the, hey, if you don't have them, you should maybe pick them up now. You might not regret it later. All right. And the last card here is Sea Legs. $3.84. This one, it's a little weird. So if we look at this, pop this out, you know, we saw $25 is the high since it's been released. $2.90 is the low. I think this card has a lot of... This card's actually pretty good. I know Nate and I were pretty high on it. I'm still pretty high on it. I think the new Scoundrel card definitely, you know, Gravy started moving away from this card quite a bit when the Golden Tipples got hit. But now that Gravy has Scoundrel, and I mean the other pirates as well, right? If they're looking for discard outlets to win that wager, Sea Legs is one of the ones that you definitely might want to, you know, put a couple back in your deck to keep that synergy of, like, make sure you have things to discard. Obviously in Gravy you have allies, you have backwater break line, you have this card, you know, you have ways to, like, automatically win that wager for sure. Maybe in other heroes not so much. Total sold since this came out, almost 1,400. There's only, you know, I'll say this, 128 isn't the smallest amount of stock, but it's not the largest anymore either. This could get chewed up quickly, especially if it becomes playable in possibly 3 heroes, right? We got to remember that there's 3 pirates right now. So just keep an eye on that. It definitely, you know, we'll see how that goes. But Crown of Dominion, Crown of Providence. Yeah, sure. Let's look at those cards, because that is the last card that I wanted to talk about for the night. Crown of Dominion. Let's take a look at the Marvel first. Boom, the big dog. This one's gonna always be top tier. Says there's 7 of them, going up to $500. 289 was the low. It's currently sitting at 350. Yeah, I don't think this one moves at all, just because there's no real competitor to it, other than the art on the new one's kind of cool, but the Blackout Marvel is, like, at least in my opinion, it's amazing. But there's not much to say on that one. I guess is the point, other than I don't think that price is going to move on the Marvel. Now, Crown of Dominion is currently in the gym pack, which we just saw the full contents of that today. How the Mighty Have Fallen, eh? Let's jump this out to a year and scroll down for you guys a little bit. We can see here it was right around $60, $70. Again, this is the rainbow foil. Jumps all the way up to 170 when Gravy came out. Ooh, boy, man. And it's already been, like, falling a little bit by itself, eh? I think maybe people like Gravy, like, you could probably time those drops up with Gravy nerfs. But, you know, as for the rainbow foil, we're sitting at a low sale price of $46 over the last year. $200 is the high. So the interesting thing is 42 is not a ton of stock for the rainbow foil. I guess it is a legendary, so we'll see where this one goes. You know, this one's dropping, man. Lots of gym packs being opened, so you know, just wait for them gym packs start to flood in. Obviously, give it a little bit of time. I know, unless you absolutely have to have it for your ProQuest season, I mean, you kind of wait towards the end of the month. That's when you start to see those prices out of the gym pack cards stabilize, right? So keep that in mind. Why am I not getting a cold foil? There's definitely not a normal version. TCG Player does this once in a while. There it is. Cold foil is sitting at $100. Oh, yeah. See, the quantity's wrong. 42 isn't right. So we saw a low of 101, a high of 157 on this. But the rainbow foil went to 200? I don't know, bro. That's weird. Again, this is just cold foil. There's no special treatment here. I always say cold foils are the way to go. Let me put it this way. I want to be trading out of this cold foil unless I absolutely love the new art. But yeah, this price point is obviously going to be a little bit stickier. It's not going to fall quite as much as the rainbow foil with the new reprint. But there's not a lot here either. I mean, there's literally 13. And the last one's at 245, so it's like 12. There's like 12. There's 12 that are buyable. But yeah, we'll see how the reprint does on this guy as well. Let me check something here. Let's turn that on. All right. Okay, Crown of Providence you want to take a look at too, eh? While I'm looking this up too, maybe if there isn't more cards you want to take a look at as far as like market minute wise, we can kind of end the stream with chatting a little bit about the spoilers, your favorite Majestics, your favorite, what you're thinking about the spoilers. Shout it out in the chat. Let me know. So while you guys are sending that in, so we got Crown of Providence from Dusk Till Dawn. That's a non-foil. We got the legendary. Why am I saying legendary? The Uprising version at 105 for the rainbow foil. Let's take a look at Uprising. So at 105, this one just has that nice growth of just over time, people buying them up. 48 currently in stock. $100 is the low, 189 is the high, and reprints literally falling off a cliff as soon as reprints are announced. Again, the rainbow foil here, just like that tunic from WTR, she's gonna go down. This ain't the bottom, even though low sale price is $100 over the last year. This is gonna bounce. So keep an eye on that. If you really want the rainbow foil version or the rainbow foil version of this card, I would say hold off a little bit, right? Let Pin come out, give it a couple weeks, then you can grab this guy. And I think it'll be cheaper than this. Let's jump to the cold foil. 168. As you can see, the cold foil not falling as hard again because, once a cold foil, not going to get reprinted due to the reprint clause. So we're looking at 160 is the low, 269 is the high. So we're right there at the low though, So there's a little bit of drop off on these as well, but I don't know, I keep saying that. Like, I need to stop looking at 48 because that's just not true. There's literally 13 of these. So it's a pretty hard card. I mean, in Uprising, this was a pretty hard to pull. Or pretty hard card to pull. So this is kind of a staple card. I think, future-wise, this is going to be... it's always going to be around. So... probably, getting up to $200. Oh, excuse me. It needed that reprint, right? For sure. hoping for adult Terra personally. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky. Well, I did call my shot a couple weeks back on the Somerset. Um, we can do a little bit of a story time here, but I'll switch it over to February. Look at the reprints. So here's my called shot for the set. I might just be repeating myself at this point, but like I'm pretty excited for this theory. I don't think we're gonna get Terra in the Somerset. I think we're gonna get fire and ice. It's going to be a Guardian that is fire. It doesn't, I said it was probably going to be generic or draconic. I kind of moved off that theory a little bit. I was thinking, Yorji would be the draconic or like the fire version of the Guardian to go alongside of Jarl, which is ice, fire and ice, and then we get Icelander and Blaze. But we talked about this card the last time we streamed, right? And there was this big hubbub, and I've seen it all over Twitter. And I don't know if I came up with this after I streamed it. I think I did. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but welcome to the TED Talk. I think my theory is that this is not just a reskin of Nullrune Hood. This is a Guardian equipment, and that was the reason why, because Guardians can change their block value on their armor, right? But I was thinking about it. I was like, man, you know what would be cool? Jarl is trying to break your armor. He's trying to freeze it and smash it with his hammer and then frostbite you, right? Well, what if the fire Guardian on the other side forges his armor and gives himself temporary +1s so that his armor can't break or like won't break as easy? Where Jarl's trying to break it, he's like reforging it. And yes, I know what you're thinking if you're a fan of Legends, LOL. Yes, this does sound like Ornn, and yep, that's what I was thinking. And we all know that there's definitely some League hints and winks and Fab towards League. So yes, we might get that dwarf Guardian that like forges his armor up, and that's why we have Enclosed Firemind, because in the set this might be reprinted in the again, we're spinning on speculations and theories here, but what if this is in the set? And then so you have Arcane Barrier if you get a wizard to play against, but then against Jarl you get a way to like +1 this armor. So I think that could be really cool. I would love, man. I like playing Guardians for the most part. I haven't played them in a long time, but I would definitely love to forge my armor up, right? Dude, what if that's the Guardian's name? Forge. Yeah, dude, magma counters. Dude, it's so good, right? I'm totally like talking myself into hoping this happens, man. I'm like pumped for something that I have no idea, right? So that's my theory. I think it would be super cool. Yo, how did I didn't give a gifted sub? Because they're random, bro. They're random. You can gift yourself a sub if you want, Mr. Rev. Yeah, we can talk. Let's talk a little bit about. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Runeblade cards, somewhat. I think. I don't know. That's a pretty bold statement, but we can talk a little bit about. Where's it at? I don't want to talk about these cards. These cards are okay, especially in Sage though, it's like, oh, Doomsaying. So Doomsaying is the card that I was saying, speaking about when Douse kind of gives me a little bit of that. Like, okay, they're working towards like a very heavily aura-based hero, Runeblade hero, because obviously this one works towards that, right? Dude, maybe they're just trying their hardest to make Looming Doom work. They have to try pretty hard. That card's got a lot going on, right? So, but yeah, so we saw Doomsaying. It's just, yeah, it just doesn't really work. Obviously, there's only Vincent anymore that can play this card. It's clearly not built for her. So this card is Ted every time he talks about Vincent. Dude, I actually think Vincent's turned the corner, I think. Vincent is looking pretty decent. And that's where I was gonna scroll down to. I think this rare cooks pretty hard, actually. Dude, you know how many times, guys, listen to me. How many times do you go, damn, I hate Codex of Frailty. They just keep getting Leave No Witness back, and I gotta play against Leave No Witness 6 times. Well, imagine if you had to play, and don't get me wrong, this isn't like Codex where you can just play it out. Deep Recesses cost 4. It's not going to be the easiest thing to play. Right now, Annihilation is like pretty much just a pitch card with like sometimes you get to play it in your games of Inset. But this card right here, if you get to play Call 4 times in a game, ooh wee. Oh man. Call a couple different times would be pretty sweet. I think this card it's definitely in the sideboard for Fatigue, and it might just replace Annihilation as the like, ooh, I get to this game, I got to 4, and Copium Ted is the best Ted. Dude, I'm Hopium, man. Well, I don't like those Runeblade cards. I can tell you that right now. But I do like this card. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's not even talk about the shadow stuff. Alright. Embalm. Balm is... Wait, is this the right one? It gets Go again. This card's pretty good. This card is quite strong. This is another fatigue tool for Vincent. You guys probably heard me say this before during the live stream. Vincent gets more power. Vincent literally explodes like a sun on the meta and cooks everything. And she goes from like 200 LL points to 1,000 in like a season and a half. And everyone's complaining about Runeblades, and they would likely have to ban something from her. I've said that for a while, and the cards that we're getting in this set confirm that LSS believes the same thing. Because these two cards are just toolbox cards for Vincent, which, full stop, she definitely needed. I think these two cards alone, getting cards back into your deck, and also Embalm giving you a way to gain some extra action points if you creep this out. Really, I feel like this makes her a lot harder to fatigue. You still have to be like galaxy brained. And it's something that I actually, now that there's only one Runeblade left in the game, I used to be able to do this with Chain. Not every time, but beating fatigue is not the easiest thing to do. Easier to do with Vincent. I'm going to start putting in the time and try to learn how not to get fatigued as Vincent, and I think these two cards are going to help me. It's going to help Vincents around the world, man. The good Vincent players are going to be cooking with this card. Watch out. I don't think you can automatically just sit down against a Vincent and say, I'm going to fatigue this person. I'm going to fatigue this Vincent. I don't think you can say that no more. So I really like these cards. These cards are pretty cool. The other shadow cards are basically Levia Spect, because you can't play any of these cards out of your Banish Zone. They just go in there and then they count as blood debt for her. Yeah, that was a little disappointing, but whatever. Embalm's really good. Deep Recesses is also really good. So, but yeah. Oh man, rip my boy Florian. I don't know about this card in CC though, guys. Like if we went back in time and unwound the clock, I think it's pretty good. Like this definitely could have been a stack Florian tool, obviously. I mean, pay 1, make 6 rune chance. Been pretty sweet, but it does block for 2. I think it would have made some decks for sure. Verdant Tide is pretty cool. Not an earth card, so that's kind of but it's pretty cool. If you pitch an earth into this, you make 2 earth, you make 3 embodiments of earth if Florian's online, which is quite strong, and it might be a Sage card for sure. I think Sage Florian got a lot of like really cool tools during this set. But yeah. Well, dude, wait, we gotta talk about where's the revered cards. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, guys. I don't think we want to talk through every card. If you want to talk about a card, shout it out. But where's that revered card? I don't know where revered is. Yes, dude, what's happening? Like, what are we doing, LSS? This card, y'all, have you all seen this card? Play it as an instant, sir. Dude, brutes are down bad all of a sudden, except for Tough Nut. But man, you're under health. Pallades is under health, and you go Blood Rush Bellow that I pitch stacked, and she goes nah. Dude, brutal card. I'm not saying that this card is like game breaking, but man, this card is not gonna feel good when it whacks you, when it hits you. Dude, this is savagery on another level. I mean, revered and reviled heroes do some gross stuff, dude. What's that? Leave them in no. What's the? This reminds me of the gross things that the suspense aura that Lyeth has. Dude, so gross. The intimidate card that can be played as an instant. This one kind of gives those feels, man. Obviously, this one's a little bit more narrow. The intimidate is just good against everybody. This one, you know, you got to be drawing cards, but the fact that you can respond to things with this, man, woo. Naturally a good against Cilio and Mom. Yeah, I mean, yeah, even just getting the 1 card draw, it's like yikers, dude. Obviously, the top target is Blood Rush Bellow. Like that, just, dude, man. Oh man. Good thing KO's only got like 40 points to go, because if he was like 200 points away and like Pallades was the thing, sheesh. I think Kerkas has use case is better. Tear through the portal. Which one is that? Is that the Go Again one? Oh, Carcass. I do not. Yeah, but it has Blood Debt though. I don't like that it has Blood Debt. Because if this like ever finds its way into your banish zone by like another hero's ability, let's say an assassin banishes your cards, or some other banishable, like actually there's a couple cards in this set that banish cards, right? Dude, if you're Vincent and you play this card and then they banish it on you, you're just taking 1 damage every turn. Sheesh. That would be brutal. Vincent's already on a clock. When you get to like 10 and less health, like you better hope that you're like way ahead and you're like have control of the game and you don't stumble, because that clock is ticking, right? Because as soon as you get to like 2 or 3 health, then you can't swing your weapon anymore. Things get weird. Yeah, I would just be scared of this card banishing and then not being able to play it. And it just kills you slowly, bleeds you out, you know? Maybe you could get away with 1, but like you said, I think Tear Through the Portal is probably just the safer play. Trust me. When I first saw this card, I sat here and stared at it too. I was like, how do I play this in Vincent? And then it hit me. I was like, wait. Cards that can be played out of Banish Zone have to say they can be played out of Banish Zone. It's not just the Blood Debt text does not give them that ability, right? So I yeah, fully admit that I got caught by that one for about 5 minutes too. That reminded me, again, jumping around guys, but we'll wrap it up here in a minute. I brought this card up. Dude. Yeah, Levia just plays it and then it becomes part of her like 13 cards she needs, right? So it's that's why I said earlier that the other shadow cards feel kind of Levia spec'd. You know, unless there's some future reason why you can play cards that don't say you can play them, I don't know. But Cheating Scoundrel, we talked about this one. I talked about this one when we at the beginning of the episode. This one just got spoiled today. Yo, Pirates eating good, man. Oh my. Oh my. Woo. Dude, Gravy got this whole set. Like, let's be real. Let's be real, guys. This set kind of kicked Gravy in the balls. He talk about another hero that's kind of down bad. I think that Guardian card that kills allies is kind of gross and unfair. But they made up for it a little bit by giving him this card. This card's silly. Certified grade A Angus beef banger. Dude, you were not kidding, Rev. This card goes right to the top of the list. There is a lot of ally hate in here. But man, the fact that you can discard this card, and that's why we talked about Sea Legs again tonight. Gravy has so many things that he can discard. A back alley break line, a Sea Legs, an ally, right? Just at a minimum, an ally is fine. You know what I'm saying? And you have like Murderous Rabble, right? You can just make Murderous Rabble +3. I think this card's sweet. I think it's really cool. I play Gravy. I haven't played no Marlin or Puffin, so I don't know how that goes, but I've been told by some people that I trust that this card's also good in those. Yeah, Murderous Rabble is an attack. But you can discard, Rev, you can discard an ally. Or no, is it? Yeah, no, discard a card. Yeah. I was like, wait, does it say discard an attack action? The aura hate. Oh yeah. Are you talking about Bubba Lubba? Yeah, Bubba Lubba kind of goes that thing kind of hard, right? But yeah, Cheating Scoundrel's great. What a banger of a card. Yeah, I was a little surprised when this one got spoiled. I was like, whoa, this is like This kind of reminded me of By the Book. And I was like, this is next level power. Where some of these Majestics I wouldn't say are next level. We've got 2 Gravy allies, guys. I think Bubba Lubba is actually pretty decent. I don't think this guy makes you play Morele Fair or whatever her name is, though. I think you probably just take your +1 counter off of him and you kill an aura and you move on with life. And just like have this guy tank for you, just being a threat. Maybe you can prismatic him once in a while if they leave him alive. I think this is pretty cool. This ain't, I don't know about this card, man. Yo, can we be super duper for real right now on this card though? This card, I don't like this card. I don't like the way this card looks. I don't want to play this in my Gravy deck because, like, look at this. This don't look like it's the same game. If I'm going to be 100% on this one, guys. I was like, when I saw the spoiler, I was like, wait, what is this art? You think he's adorable? Oh, I don't know, man. Like, I think Gravy has, like, a fun streak throughout his whole kit. Obviously, his name is, like, Gravy Bones. And it's literally like a wink, wink Davy Jones. Like, you know, and, like, Scuba is the dog. But the dog still looks badass, though. Like, he's like a Doberman, like, from hell. This is just... Oh, man. Dude, I'm surprised Chad is against me on this one. Well, a couple of y'all are. He is kind of memey, in which, like, I'm fully on board with. But, like, the art looks... yeah, I don't know. Dude, can we talk about... While we're standing here, we'll end the stream on this. I'll balance my kind of critique on this art. I agree, this beyond cheeky. I don't even know if I would call it cheeky. Like, I have no problems other than, and again, I don't want to disparage Carlos here. He does very good work, and I'm sure this is what they wanted. But he just looks so out of place in this deck. Like the art does. Like, dude, I don't know. Anyways, it was kind of a shock to the system. But okay, let's balance it off. Let's end the stream with something fun and something more positive on the art front. Yo, guys, this set. Oh, let me scroll down. This set of armor. Oh. Ted wants a metal looking ghost. Dude, you could have made a ghost look really cool. But I don't know. Maybe he'll grow on me. Okay, but this set of armor right here. What are we doing, man? This is so cool. I want a necromancer that looks like this. I think we're going to get it. I think this is definitely a, like, wink, wink. I don't know if we're going to get exactly looking like this, but dude, look at the bones. Look at that. Oh my god. This is so cool. There's a couple sets of armor in this set that are just like, I want the full armor, like the full art of this, right? Even the bone puppetry. Like, man, look at this. The next one up is, and this one's weird because it's like armor on display, but the Graven or Graven armor. Dude. Someone do a cosplay of this. Like, look how cool this armor looks. I want to see a hero in this armor, man. Like, look at these gloves. So cool. Dude. Once I saw... Dude, this hood and cowl is like... How sick is this, man? It's like the evil version... It's like the evil version of Fang. It's like the alt version, right? Because it's like Fang versus Assassins. So I get like Fang, I get like opposite sides of the coin of Fang a little bit on this, actually. I might be way off on that, but like, you know, Fang has like the Shredder look. This is kind of like Dark Shredder, you know? Some good looking WoW transmog sets. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's one more. I said it in my Discord today. Oh, of course. It's the generic ones. This dwarf set, dude. This is cool, man. I don't know how many sets are they gonna tease us with like dwarf art and like dwarf things and like visit Avalheim and do all this stuff and then not give us this dwarf, dude. But look at this, man. This is so cool. And Tomas, dude, he's like perfect for this art. This style. Like this feels like metal forged, right? Now that Florian's gone, what hero are you leaning most into, with or without the influence of pen spoilers? I'll probably still be on Gravy, and I'll it's probably Gravy and Vincent. Lias Hammer, James White said on Twitter that Lias Hammer is in this set. We have not seen it yet though, so I guess it might be spoiled tomorrow, right? But yeah, dude, the armor sets in this set are just amazing. There's like 3 of them right off the bat that are super cool. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. As I just, you know, we just spitting some facts. Well, I don't know if they're facts, you know. I'm just out here saying things, but appreciate you guys. I'm excited for Pin. Before we go though, guys, we're going to be doing video is going to be dropping this weekend. As soon as I get my packs in my boxes of Pin, I'm going to be sitting down. I got the camera ready. I'm going to be opening both my boxes and whatever else I can get my hands on. We'll probably do shorts on the tournament packs, see what we can pull in those, but kind of doing some more on-site content creation. Been wanting to do this for a while now. I want to share the vibes of these big events for Fab, because if you don't know, you don't know, and I really think, you know, it's really cool, and I want to share that with you guys. So check that out this weekend. Keep an eye on the channel, and we'll be opening all kinds of packs and stuff this weekend. So we'll catch you next time. Thanks everybody for hanging out.